Okay. I think I'm live on YouTube. Yes, I'm live on YouTube. Okay, let me add, let me F in because y'all hoes can't be trusted. Oh, okay. Ooh. So I'm now live on the YouTube. About to go live on Facebook. About to go live on. Really? Really? This is the one I wanted. I'm hurt. Why? I am so hurt by this. Why? Why is this my life? Okay, none of the Facebook streams are happening besides the one to the Scinguistics Facebook group. So I guess, okay. I almost called you Fernando. Why do I want to call all the Luciphones Fernando? It's like a whole thing. Check out my travel vlog. Well, actually, do I mention that on my travel vlog? I probably will. So check out my travel vlog to hear about why every Luciphone is now named. Was it Fernando? No, it's Rodrigo. Rodrigo was the actual name of the Brazilian guy. No, Fernando was the actual name, and then I wanted to call him Rodrigo. So every Luciphone is now Rodrigo. For more information on this, yay! Gabriel joined. Hey, ask questions. Evil or Youthful. I can't call you that unless I'm mad at you. But give me a couple seconds and we'll work that out. Share this to PVT, please. Put hashtag FF for Feature Friday on it, and could you share this to PVT? Because like the Facebook stream to PVT. It's not working. Okay, so welcome. Wait. Welcome to this week's office hours where I try to answer your questions, but instead y'all ignore me and then hit me up in my DMs when I'm not free and complain about how confusing I am. So let's get it started. I actually agree with, okay, let me, for those of you that are not on the Discord, which you should join the Discord, link in the description, join the Discord in the description for this video on YouTube. It's also, if you're joining us via Facebook, it is somewhere inside this group. Like I linked this Discord several times. Join it, it's great. You can see from this stream that we're shady and awful. You'll be right at home here. What? I'm going live from today's office hours. Okay, let me link. What's my opinion on vowel narrowing? Vowel narrowing, not even once. It depends on what you're trying to narrow it for. If you're trying to narrow it for stylistic effect, narrowing probably means either making the vowel more front or more closed or some combination of both. So generally moving towards an E sound. Depends on the context. Like, I need more context to know what that is about. You're douched. Okay, now I'm gonna call you evil. It's like, is it a coincidence that that is like a lateralization away from sounding like evil? I think not. You should be able to use the link that I just posted in events to get to office hours. Like, it's saying that I'm streaming from there, and I just got a comment on the video from there. Okay, while y'all get y'all little bullshit together and ask me no questions, I will answer the question that somebody. I'm sorry, is the audio awful? Okay, let me play with the levels on this. It's giving me like I'm too loud. Am I popping and crackly? Let me turn that down a little bit. Am I still awful? I mean, I know I'm an awful person. Is my audio still awful? Oh my god. Yes, confessional. Okay. Narrowing distinct. No, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that, Snoop Dogg. I'm sorry. That's heresy. Like, why? I've been like obsessed with this YouTuber who does, his name is Jared, and he does videos on like exotic fruit. And he was talking about the passion fruit, how it was called that not because it's like some passionate aphrodisiac that you sip out of while having an island rendezvous with a pool boy named Iago. Like, passion fruit is called passion fruit because it was used to tell like the passion of Christ. And like the flower has like 10 petals, which is because 2 of the disciples, the 12 disciples, 12 minus 2 is 10, are missing because like Peter rebuked Jesus and Judas betrayed Jesus. So yeah, I feel like really rebuked. My petals are just falling to the ground right now just looking at this YouTube chat. Narrowing distinct to the first bridge, no, I don't, no, you don't need vowels to get through a bridge, no, like, I don't know how many times, like, I made a whole video. Please check out the video on this on my YouTube channel. Check out, what's it called? Free the Vow. Hashtag Free the Vow. Look up hashtag Free the Vow, and we'll talk more about how vowels are largely irrelevant to range. If you talk about vowels in a linguistic sense, which is like positions of your mouth to make linguistically, like to make the sounds that we use in language known as vowels. So if you look at vowel from that point, but some people out here saying that like the vowels are controlled by the vocal cords, like an A is a fundamental frequency of 440 hertz. That's how you make the A vowel. So yeah. Whoa, what the hell? Oh yeah, and now that people are here and being fake fans, ooh, Corey, I knew you would save us with an actual question. Don't forget that this month is the last month of every week having free office hours. I will reduce it to 1 office hour a month because y'all hoes not saving up questions. So give you time to ask questions during the video and make y'all have to play the Hunger Games with each other and not get none of this good information without actually like trying to make it easy for me to answer your questions in a group forum where everyone can benefit. So if you want access to weekly office hours where I will also be doing more requests and I will be listening to samples of people that I will analyze during office hours, make sure you join my Patreon, link in the description on YouTube, link everywhere in my damn Discord. So yeah, make sure you get on that. Okay, getting to Krampus's question real quick. Forgive me, mother, for I have sinned. I've been using forward placement to improve projection of low notes. What's going on anatomically when people saying they're using forward or mask placements? When people are saying forward or mask placement, they are usually referring to steel beams did 9/11. And what is her name? The alternate Avril Lavigne. And what's another good conspiracy? Care Bears did 9/11. So it's conspiracy. So there is a lot of variation about just like in conspiracy. Wow, picture that, about what people mean when they say forward or mask placement. What I found to be the most central to forward or mask placement is the lack of obstruction in the vocal tract. So lack of obstruction by things like the back of the tongue, conodal. So if I'm doing conodal, it places me more back, but if I let go of it, it places me more forward. Doing stuff that sort of squeezes and concentrates the sound, like using twang. Like using twang can place the sound forward or in the mask. Squillo, like chord compression to a certain degree, can place the sound forward. So things that concentrate the sound and things that don't obstruct the sound. All of those can give a more forward placement. But if someone's using like the majority of what I hear forward placement being used for, but I honestly think it's kind of inconsistent. Okay, I answered Krampus's question because he is my bae, especially if he puts on 50 more pounds. So, oh my god, this is being immortalized on the internet. I need Jesus. So, that being said, I also take questions from people that aren't even here. If you use the Reddit or if you use Facebook, I will answer your questions during the live stream. Let me make sure people can actually see this. Yes, people can sort of see it. Let me squish it a little bit more. There we go. So, the problem of trans voice right now. There's so many problems. Where to start? Oh, did I not upvote this? I'm not logged in, so I can't upvote it. But I upvoted this. Okay, so let me read through this question, and y'all too can also ask in-depth questions and have special attention paid to your questions by using the Scinguistics Reddit or the Scinguistics Facebook group. Let's see if there's any questions on Facebook. Of course not. And let's get into this question on Reddit. And if you want similar attention, you know where to be. So, I have been practicing trans voice for quite some time, and I basically narrowed it down to one problem. My soft palate. No, not the soft palate. It just doesn't want to stay up, and whenever it does go up, say if I swallow, I get that feminine sound, but a few seconds later, that sound is gone. This is weird because like I'm reading about myself in the third person. Okay, so quickly addressing the swallow thing. The swallowing is a reflex arc. I am still waiting on the rest of my puberty. It's in the post, so I don't have enough of a laryngeal prominence or Adam's apple to really give you the arc of motion with swallowing. But if you swallowing, if you swallow real quick, swallow. I'll wait. That's how you make me feel. So swallow, and then feel how your voice will sort of rebound after the swallow. And that sort of gives you a sense of why it doesn't last for that long. Like if we just swallowed and our voices stayed like that, and our vocal tract stayed like that, it would be difficult to eat because you'd have to sort of like swallow, then reset, as opposed to just like one singular motion arc. So in order to swallow efficiently, I think swallowing comes with this built-in, okay, you're going to raise your larynx up, but then it's going to drop back down. So people might lift the soft palate when they swallow, but that, just like everything else with swallowing, is going to reset. So that's the first issue with that. And then the second issue is, I don't think, as this person says, however, I did check in with Crammed, that's me, not too long ago, and apparently it should be considered as an assistant. Now I'm questioning my technique, which there's a lot of technique just laid out on the server. If you want the basic stuff, I have a video on my channel. There's other people with great videos, such as, what does she call herself on YouTube? Ziana, Eros, Amelia, Little Zebra, one of those. Search one of those, and her video will come up, and that stuff is useful as hell. So make sure you watch that, and I also have a video of a redux of some of the trans voice stuff I've discussed. So before asking a trans voice question, please join the Discord server and look at the pin post in the trans voice channel, because that answers so many questions with the first stuff that you should look at before trying to like control your soft palate. I wouldn't know what I am doing at this point, considering I have open quotient. Talking in G3 is my average pitch, and including vocal intonation to make it sound more natural, having a more narrow opening embouchure, and having my larynx higher than usual to compensate the effects of the dreaded puberty phase, and doing vowel modifications. That's a good sampler of the stuff that you should be working on. That by itself should get you to passing. If you're doing these things and you don't feel super feminine in passing, like, you should really troubleshoot to make sure you're doing those correctly. Because anything else, I think, is more of a matter of what kind of woman you're going to be. Are you going to be a gaseous, horrendous woman that nobody likes to have around, like me? Or are you going to be a tomboy? Are you going to be a girly girl? Are you going to have a raspy voice? Like, what kind of woman do you want to be? And then soft palate and stuff comes in more there. I do wonder if I'm missing something and if I need my voice to be analyzed. By the way, you can get voice analysis. Look at the Facebook. There's a pinned post that will tell you, and look at the file section of the group. It'll tell you how to get free anonymous voice analysis. You can also post clips of your voice in the Pimp My Voice channel that hopefully won't shame me and look bad. And you look bad. Why are people using Pimp My Voice for anything but actually pimping their own actual voices? I guess this clip counts as Tristan working on his own voice, but he didn't post that himself to my Discord. So yeah, despite these irreverent hoes getting out of line, this channel can be used for free input. Use it. Okay. Hey, Dan. Oh, whoa, lots of questions. I do wonder if I'm missing something and if I need my voice to be analyzed. I just talked about how you can get your voice analyzed. Make sure you do that, even though it doesn't sound feminine to begin with. A lot of people, you have to separate out. If everybody's telling you your voice sounds feminine, it sounds feminine. Like, screw what your dysphoria told you. Dysphoria is a liar. Get him behind you, or it, or that, or whatever pronouns dysphoria uses for itself, and get that dysphoria behind you, because it's something that I encounter with literally every trans voice student, is they all sound more feminine than most cis women and still don't think that they pass. So 9 times out of 10, if you're doing the stuff and we're telling you that you're doing it right, you probably are dealing with dysphoria, not an actual reality of, I still don't pass and I'm doing other things. It just sounds like the gay guy voice. Gay guy voice is real. It's real. It's real. Dan, do you corroborate the statement? Is gay guy voice real? Hey, Leah. Is Dan still here? Oh, please still be here, Dan. I guess if anyone on Facebook wants to corroborate, gay guy voice is the thing. Not all gay guys have to have gay guy voices. Not all AFABs even sound like women. Even cis AFABs don't all sound like the exact model of femininity. So no, it's not every gay guy, but there's definitely something to the gay guy voice. Look up Lavender Linguistics for more information on that. Okay, look at all these questions on my YouTube. How does a classical singer go about changing voice? Fuck. Quit classical! No, let me not get murdered. But honestly, classical is not a great environment to challenge your range. I don't know what to tell you. I've never heard of anybody in classical. I mean, feel free to prove me wrong, but I've never heard of anybody in classical changing the fach that they sang without resistance. Like, it's not a thing that I've ever encountered. So I would, even if you want to use classical technique, just do vocal work outside of classical pedagogy and really just work on the notes. Don't think about fach or at first. Just think about building competencies in a contemporary setting. You want to use classical technique because it's just not a hospitable environment for improving your range. I'm sorry, not sorry. But yeah, I would do that. Because just that mental, I sound this way, I'm an AMAB, so I don't have that voice. It gets to you, and it has people believing. I've had so many students that come from classical that we're just told, like, I'm an alto, like, you have an A6 and M2 that you hit reliably. You're whatever you want to be. So, is there a point in the overlap between M2 and M3 range that could be very hard to tell them apart, and just by hearing them, no matter what you do with the rest of the vocal track? So yes, there is a point where it starts to assimilate. If you have like the M2 starting to thin out, and you have like a nice juicy M3. The reason why I point out the importance of distinguishing between mechanisms isn't because people will hear the difference every time. Because as a practitioner of voice, even if you are just singing, and you want to sing well, and you want to know what you're doing, and you want to control it, you should know what mechanism you are in. Because even if it sounds like I was going to hit like a random super high note, and like in a way that's ambiguous between M2 and M3. So that was actually M2. I just made it super thin and breathy and pressed, so it sounded kind of like M3. But that, I know, I can't take much higher than that because I have limits in my M2. And I can thicken out a little bit more there, but if I want to get any higher than that, like if I'm doing an upward run, I know I'm going to have to switch to M3. And rather than just be like, voice, and I sound like a human abomination as I go up higher, because I can't go higher, I just end up straining because my M2 is limited. Rather than do that, why not just like actually know what I'm doing? Why are people so like offended by, I should actually know what mechanism I'm in? So, no, it doesn't sound necessarily different to everyone all the time, but it is something that is worth understanding the difference. Corey asked a question a while ago. Let me go back up. I'm sorry, I'm not used to people actually asking questions. Yeah, to my stuffed panda. Pillows! Pillows! Okay. Yeah, but if you feel like, I can't bang this bouncing because my landlord, like pillows. I had the most restrictive landlord in the world, and I could practice with pillows. Like, I was literally evicted for having a guest. So, if I can get away with belting in that situation because I belted into a pillow, you can too. Like, it's pillows are free! If you already have them. Like, pillows are free, use them! Like, belt box is cute and everything, but just, like, use a pillow. Damn. Okay, Corey has a question. Question, with lip trills, I hit the E5 block and M2 pretty hard. Plug, 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 plug. Make sure you come out this Sunday at 7 p.m. Sunday. At 7 p.m. I will be doing a module on M2 blocks with special premium content for Patreons, but there'll be stuff for the commoners too. So come through and get this vocal wisdom. God, I don't know what to do about this audio. I don't know if it's still awful. I'm sorry, y'all. Someone needs to come get this. I'm gonna lower it a little bit more. Hopefully people are getting some kind of answer to their questions, but I don't know what to do. Let's put it on Patreon and make this better. Okay. When I sing into a stuffed panda, I could get to an F sharp 5. Could I have a jaw tension problem? Sing. I need to see what you're doing when you sing into the panda. I don't know if there's a difference in how your jaw acts when you're singing into the stuffed panda, but the pressure that you create, the air pressure feedback that you create by creating this more closed system, that could help. So maybe that's what's helping you. The only thing is with the pillow, with that subglottal pressure created by like an external block on the vocal track or a supraglottic, because technically the panda is acting as a supraglottic block, which just means like past the glottis, past the vocal cords. The sound, as the sound goes out, it goes past the vocal cords and into the panda. And as you create that closed system, it creates this pressure system. And that supraglottic pressure created by the panda, or just by anything blocking your mouth, I feel like will cause or tempt you to use constriction. Oh God. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know how this, whatever. Okay, so Rika asks, do you have tips on how to do vocal fold level diplophonia, asymmetrical vocal fold vibration more precisely? Yeah, I don't know how to do that honestly. Like, I think breathiness is a good start. Using breathiness and a mechanism that you're bad at. So like breathiness in M3. M4 has a high incidence of diplophonia, or what M4. M4 isn't necessarily official yet. So doing like notes D7 and above increases your chance of diplophonia. Or if you're bad at like the 6th octave, doing notes there, being breathy about it. But honestly, I'm not going to sit here and act like I can control asymmetrical vocal fold diplophonia. And that might be the type that Layla Hathaway uses. Honestly, would want to see it like unmiked and without a lot of noise in the background to really tell the difference. When I'm imitating Layla Hathaway, though, my go-to is using the false fold to do diplophonia. So that's like basically diplophonia. For those of you that don't know, ask questions. If you don't know, is 2 notes at the same time. One girl, 2 notes. So that's the 2 notes at the same time, and that's me using my false folds to do that. Yeah, it's really demotivating to have the whole like, you can change your voice, or you can change what fuck you sing out, but not your actual voice. Like, if your voice, if it quacks like a soprano, if it acts like a soprano, if it sounds like a soprano, it's a soprano. Like, I don't get the essentialism, the bioessentialism that is so strong in this. Leah. Okay, back pressure. I'm assuming back pressure is answered by the panda thing. So, Kayetan, I think that's how you would say that name, Kayetan. I know you, but I forgot how you pronounce the name. I think it's Kayetan. Because you said it was like Kaitanu Velosu. And Kaitanu is, what is that? It's like an ethnic group or something. It's like an alternate version of that name. But anyways, is it true that if one can take a balanced, as in the sound that has a similar amount of chest and head sound? Thank you for saying sound and not actual like mechanics. M2 mixed to a certain note, they can take their M1 mix there? No, they cannot necessarily. It's helpful, but no, they cannot necessarily do that. Because mechanisms are different, like they are exclusive to each other. You can't be more than one mechanism at a time. A mechanism can resemble another, but it can't literally include that mechanism. Like, you cannot sit and stand at the same time. Does it make sense? Like, you want me to show you 5 upvotes and I'll show you. Oh, don't forget, like and subscribe, please, please, please. Get me off these streets. I don't know Flores' voice that well, but voices tend to darken with age. I mean, you can fight against it, but it like becomes a little bit less natural to sing without that darkness. Yay, people listening to me. Okay. Viva, aka Leah, asks, what's the best way to go about changing your tone so it sounds more individualistic? Sometimes I tend to sound more classical, and when I brighten my vowels as well, it just sounds theatrical. That is very true. The diction that we use, even if you do the phrasing right, like if I'm using very sharp consonants, like I don't do lenition with my consonants, I say my S's and my T's and all these other consonants that normally get like elided in pop singing hard, it sounds musical theatery even if I do the proper phrasing. What's a damn song? It's like, she got your body like an hourglass, but I can give it to you all the time. Like I'm doing like the pop phrasing. Like it's not like she's got a body like an hourglass, but I can give it to you all the time. That's more of like a stereotypical theater phrasing. But even if I do like the pop phrase, like she's got a body like an hourglass, but I can give it to you all the time. That last vibrato was like try hard theatery, but like me doing these like very aggressive consonant articulations with these very like Caucasian vowels, like time. Like I can even throw in a run, and it still sounds Caucasian because the diction to some degree does have a stylistic impact on the phrasing. So it's important to like embrace the phonology of the style that you're singing. Well, I wish Dan was here so he could corroborate that. The tone, I think for me, I include that as phrasing. So that is like how to modernize your phrasing, how to individualize your phrasing. You'll want to look at how do my singers that I want to sound like pronounce things. How does the style that I want to do pronounce things? And you don't have to be like dead copy of that, but look at the general trends. Plug. I have several students who are working on that. And if you want to shadow their lessons, Patreon. Plug. Support me on Patreon so I can also have less crappy quality on these videos. Help me not record my videos with a potato for just 2 cents a day. Probably does break down to something like 2 cents a day. No, that's more than that. It's like 20 cents a day. It's way less than $1 a day. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, it's a little less than 20 cents a day. Yeah, holy God. Okay, so tone, individualizing tone. Yeah, it depends on what you're going for, what genre you're going for. But as a general guideline, is like there's only so many different ways that the human voice can sound. Like, yes, everybody will sound somewhat unique, but there's only so many varieties of the human voice. And I think where you get the real artful, skillful variation, because like sounding unique isn't necessarily the same as sounding good. Because like if I were to sing like this would be very unique. But unique isn't always good. So if you want to like have that balance of unique and good, see what works for other singers. So no matter what, you're going to be compared to other singers. I think where you can get unique is like coming up with a mix of different styles that haven't been combined together before, or doing a certain style in a way it's never been done. Like use influences, look at other people, and figure out what you like and amplify that. Like for instance, I like the tone of Mariah Carey's voice almost more than anything else. Like she's great at runs, she's got great range, whistle tone obviously, but one of the things I like most about her voice is how, like, this sounds awful, but like how pained it sounds. When she wants it to sound pained, there's like combination of pharyngeal constriction and having a higher close quotient sometimes and using twang. What's a dang Mariah Carey song that's like sad? I can't live. Oh, that's awful. I can't remember the song. If living is without you, I can't live. I can't give anymore. Like that kind of like cry sound. I really love that. So whenever I want to channel that, like I channel that more than she probably even does in her actual voice. So I like it probably more than she likes it. So I would like when I want to have something sound sad. Like, I'm just a paycheck away from living in my mother's basement. Like, I would dial that up more than another person might actually use it. And that's where I get like my uniqueness, is that I do stuff to different levels that hasn't already been heard. But I wouldn't have heard of these things or thought of these things without listening to other people's voices. Ooh, Lord. It's questions today. Look at this. Yes, everybody but me was wrong. I ain't seen nothing. I ain't seen nothing. Okay. Do you think male singers avoid Whitney's M2 heavy songs, Run to You, I Believe in You and Me, because the M2 isn't developed enough, or because that wouldn't sound marketable? Honestly, I need to look at more male covers of Whitney Houston. I think there's one on the 4. Like there's a big guy on the 4. He seems like really, I don't know his friend. He seems really cool. There's like this big guy on the 4 that I cannot remember his name, but I want to be his friend. Like somebody make me famous on YouTube so I have the clout to make people my friends. But I want to be his friend. He was really cool and funny and friendly and had a pretty good voice. And I believe he did a cover of one of those songs. I feel like he did like Run to You, or like some M2 heavy thing. But half the time these like male singers be doing like male octaves, the underachiever octave, the problem student octave, the at-risk octave, the teenage pregnancy octave level covers of these songs. This is a running joke. That's like, if you're a man, you don't need to sing an octave below. You can sing it in the same octave if that's what you really want. There's nothing biologically stopping you from that unless you're a pack-a-day smoker, and in that case, that has nothing to do with gender. M2 heavy songs. Why male singers might avoid it is because Whitney Houston in particular does, or did, M2, Whitney Houston's M2 in particular was very like rich and operatic, high level of chord closure, and very ringy. And a lot of male singers, you're gonna have to put up with this. A lot of male singers, I'm gassy because of who I am as a person. A lot of male singers, their default M2, just like white male singers, their default M2 will sound like this. I'm trying. And they will very much pale in comparison. Like, I want to you. Like it doesn't fill the void of that like is created by the chasm of Whitney's, not the chasm, the opulence of Whitney Houston's voice. Oh my god. So that's one theory for maybe why they avoid our songs. But yes, Rika, cis male singers. I'm sorry. Oh no, I'm freezing. Okay, I'm frozen. Oh man, these people drive for like 2 seconds and then leave before I can say hi to them. Okay. How can you belt using an SLVT like lip trills? It's a little bit harder. Start low. Start very low. Sign up from a fifth under. The pronouns. So, I would start like. So, start with the trill on a. And then do the trill up. And then keep doing that and eventually. It's belt when I take the trill off. Or I can like pop it inside the trill so you can see that's still a trill, because like the trill absconds the harmonic information that lets you know that's actually belt. So you can't really hear the passaggio that well. Yeah. It is what it is. But yeah, SLVTs doing belting can be good, because if you're straining really hard, like if I try to do, see, I'm too good to you hoes. I'm too good to you. Like, let me do my struggle octave. And my SLVTs will get difficult there because I squeeze in this range. They're like, in that range, I squeeze. See, I'm already failing at the SLVT. And me failing at the SLVT means I'm squeezing too much. See, it fails because I squeeze too much. Oh, God, that's difficult. So yeah, doing SLVT helps me like squeeze less and has the belt be a little bit less like pinched sounding, and can help with just like efficiency of belting, like not exerting more muscular effort than you need to. Okay. Rika asks, in the belting module, you mentioned that sliding up from a fifth below can help get the higher OQ needed to go above A4. Is it the higher OQ? It could be. I don't know. For whatever reason, I just call it assimilation. It assimilates the general approach and features, whether that's higher OQ, which is a possibility because of how OQ changes in belting. But yes, you should do that, and that should be part of your fatigue training. But you don't necessarily need to do glissando. Sometimes a jump is enough. Glissandos can be really tiring because you're kind of dragging through all this belt range. Glissandos are just more tiring. So if you want something like quicker, I would just do a jump and see if that works. Save Ronald, yes, that's his name. Oh my God, he responds to people. We're gonna be friends. We're gonna be friends. I'm saying this now. Hopefully my answer helped you, Leah. Okay, I'm sorry. Brittany singing with yes, yeah. Her like that's why I hate people saying like opera is something that you have to do in opera only. Like I think if white people can learn R&B, you can learn operatic technique without being in classical. Like you can learn those core competencies. I feel like opera is very, very, very restrictive and specific. So if like there's only like one way to skin a cat, you kind of have to learn from the master cat skinner. Of course. But yeah, like there's people out here on these streets with operatic type abilities that haven't had a single like lesson of opera. I think Whitney Houston's a great example of that. I think that's a lot of what made Whitney Houston stand out among female vocalists is that her M2 is very rich. When you get like men with rich M2, but in like pop, I think a lot of pop has women using M2 to be cute. Like it's a pastime. Who's watching? Hello on Facebook. If you're watching on Scinguistics Facebook, say hey. Say hey, Miss Carter. Anything else? well, with nothing else, let me do some plugs. I need to do plugs at the beginning, honestly. Okay, so this is the first in the series of the final office hours that will be like weekly for this month. The 24th, I'm gonna try to have like a bigger, more epic one that will last longer and have like hopefully people here in person. I'll be cooking and stuff, so I'm gonna probably have someone like read questions off the screen and whatnot. I'm gonna try to get this popping. I have this whole like struggle plan, this whole struggle fantasy that will crumble at my feet like everything else I've ever wanted in life. But make sure to save up questions for that. It's going to be like a whole bonanza of other people here in person that can hopefully give examples of different things with their voices and all students. So make sure to pull through. That one will be on the 24th. And also, please support on Patreon if you can. Like, it helps me struggle less and helps you struggle to hear me less. I can get a sweet potato instead of a potato to record myself with. So help me upgrade me. And yeah, like, share, and subscribe this video, please. I just need enough. The Insta gang. Okay, so you now have access to a new channel on the Discord. Check for it. It's called Social Remediation. And it contains the stuff, the previous modules, and it's where I'll be doing the M2 block module this Thursday. No, Sunday. This Sunday at 7 EST. Look at all these premium channels that you can't have because you don't want to give me less than $1 a week. Oh, did someone say something? Nope. Please. Any other questions? Y'all. I'm gonna start doing like pop quizzes at the end of these things, like on things I talked about. So let me do that now. Okay, so who can tell me what causes forward placement? What's one of the most common trends in vocal tract configurations that are described as forward placed? There's two main elements. That's what I thought. And we wait. Twang, yeah, but constricted pharynx, kind of. I think that's one's a little bit more debatable. But twang is definitely discussed as a forward placement. Okay. How much pitch do you need to be a trans woman? No. What's another thing that I talked about in this office hours? I meant how much pitch, not which pitch. How much pitch? I need the level of pitch in kilonewtons. I'm exhausted. Everything I've done is meaningless. I hate my job. Okay. Be like me. Wake up every day. Hate your job. Hate your life. Hate yourself. I mean, wait. Can you measure? Yes, I guess you can technically measure wavelength. Is it as meaningful though? Okay, what's another thing? What's my reason for why male singers tend to not cover no, you don't, little bitch. here, little bitch. Come here, little bitch. Who's a dumb little bitch? Who's dumb? You stupid bitch. Oh, you stupid. You stupid. You stupid. No! Come back. I want to abuse you. I just want to hurt you. No! Come sit in mama lap. No! Special, special viewer request for Krampus. Um, oh, Beezus, no! Consent, Beezus, consent! Consent! No! No! Damn it! I wanted Beezus to frown upon you all, as y'all didn't answer the question. What is the what is? Let me see what they even look like. Did I still have the dog at this point? Um. So what is? Thank you. How about okay? So I'm asked for a review for a question. The person that asked the question is not allowed to summarize my answer to their question. What's the best way to get a unique sound to your tone to like be timbrally unique? What's the general strategy I use for that? Yes! Damn, y'all the good children. I guess we only have good children in here right now. The dog doesn't bark that much, but I would say M1. The dog probably uses M1 when it barks. Because I think dogs do have an M1 and M2. And I think some dogs have what could be an M3. But honestly, I cannot bring myself to care about that. Yeah. Yeah, they probably howl with them too. But I've heard like Passaggio breaks in dogs before. I think sometimes they're like, oh. I hate you all. Ugh. Add higher octave. Uh, slide from the octave below so you know it's real. Speaking of D sharp 5 belt, there's a nice long juicy D sharp 5 belt in from Frozen in my best Caucasian resonance in the secret footage inside Premium Pettiness. Well, it's what's about actually that one's not in there yet, but it's about to be after this office hours. It's about to be in there. So. I did it with my mouth closed because I'm not trying to like be an abomination in public. Oh, I'm watching myself back now. I look so stupid when I did that. Any last questions? Don't forget, if you come with a question in between office hours, add them to the Reddit. You know what I might do? Let me try the V-Toss. It's a little bit easier with my mouth closed. And let me prove it's M1 at the end, or attempt to. Oh God, it's hard to give like a good upward. One more. Oh, I'm not getting a good like passaggio because I'm getting fry failure at the bottom of that. Wow, I look so stupid while doing those belts. That's the thing I actually want to work on next. Like for myself, I guess real quickly I'll talk about Patreon. Support me on Patreon. Like this video, do my laundry. Don't do drugs, unless you bought them from me. But but what I'm working on now. Because even me, with my magnanimous, unanimous voice, I still have stuff that I need to work on. And one of those things is I want to work on being able to like, give good face while I belt. And part of that is just having my high belts not be so difficult and actually like do endurance work, which I've been doing. It's like being able to like, cause I want to be able to like belt and have it look so epic. Like I'm trying to figure out how I want to pose. I need something I can hold. So if I just like hold an invisible mic, it looks like I'm like singing into a penis. Um, oh, I found something. Like I really want to be able to remember when I'm actually belting. Cause normally when I belt, I'm just like, ah! Or there's a picture of me. Um, where is that picture of me? It's on my Instagram. Ugh. Am I logged into Instagram on this? Ugh. Follow me on Insta, you guys. What? 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 Why is it finding my useless ass Twitter? I'm gonna change my name to Cram Voice Lessons on Instagram. This is what I look like during a high belt. I got a couple likes on that. It's not too bad. I intentionally tried to be like I was always doing runs with my hands. In fact, you want to see? Yeah, I want to see the video of this moment. Oh, no. How much can I modify vibrato? Kayetan. Thank you, Kayetan. Um, what's a reliable way to find the coordination for M3? Uh, M3 is just, it's not reliable until you use it a bunch. Um, so there are better ways to go about finding it, but the only way to make it reliable is to really do that a whole bunch. Which I'll I'll talk a little bit about that, but I'm not going to get specific drills because I don't need to enable the M3 deflation of a nation on this stream. I'm not trying to commit acts of vocal terrorism. There's people going to be like out here trying to be somebody's Mariah. Ended up sounding like somebody's, oh, what's Wendy Williams' assistant name? The one that sounded like she got punched in the throat. I love her voice. It sounds like she gets like punched in the throat every day before work. Because like you get these like high horse squeaks and everything, but you have no range to contextualize any of that. So yes, I would say work on the M2 to reliable C6. Thank you, Kayetan. And then really be breathy about how you hit M3. And that's all I'll say for now. Be breathy about it. I'll talk a little bit about that in the office hours premium, not office hours, M2 module premium. So make sure you hit that. Um, Have I heard your mix to E flat six? I can't remember. How much can you modify your vibrato, speed, etc.? A fair amount. It's hard until you've modified your vibrato the first time. I usually have people learn vibrato from scratch because they don't think of it as this granular process that you could actually like dissect. So, oh my god, people quoting me on my videos. I love it. Thank you, Kaitan. Um, I'm gonna thought you out on one of these office hours for views. I need your shirtless body on my office hours. I'm trying to pay this rent.
Walk behind me.
Yes, walk through the screen. Actually, you want to do this? How many of y'all want to see my shirtless roommate? No, you don't have to.
How many of them said yes?
How many of them said yes? It takes a little lag. Like, there's a little bit of lag, so I have to wait for them to hear that and then respond. The guy that really likes you isn't watching right now, but I'm sure he'll appreciate it being there for posterity. Giving the girls bath towel negligee realness.
Right. My tail's like falling off.
Hopefully your towel doesn't fall off too.
Oh my god.
Okay, let me switch to one where we can actually see you. Okay, so it's not gonna show you for a little bit.
Oh, okay. Is that enough? Should I get a double?
How much money do you want? Okay, let's see. Okay, there you go. There's you. Hey, looking like a grinder profile.
Yo.
Hey. Side shot. Front shot. Attack from the back.
Yo. Really, the lighting is very, it sucks the...
Oh, this is like premium. Patrons get to see.
I mean, I'll work out in front of the camera. I will.
I should have just turned it around and had it be me talking. Well, people would actually pay attention. People would actually watch me on YouTube. Holy God. Yeah, I'm going to just put your torso in the thumbnail for the next one. Ah! Okay, I'm back. You're welcome, Uthro. Yes, you could get that. You can get that vibrato speed if you want it, but the first time learning vibrato, you have to unlearn vibrato and then kind of relearn it from scratch. Especially if your vibrato isn't fully like functional, it helps just like break it down and relearn how to do vibrato from scratch, and then A6 is. I want someone to go through my office hours and do like a range compilation of absurd noises that I make. Like I also need one of my belt laughs. Oh my god. How do I modify vowels in the fifth octave to make it intelligible? I think half of the thing is like the fifth octave can be difficult in belting and in M2, especially as you get higher up. So a lot of people will not fully do the vowels. Like a lot of people will be like, and I will love you. Like, and I, it's supposed to, and I. Like, no, people don't do like, and I. Like, they don't do like the E on I. They just do the ah. So that can reduce intelligibility a little bit. But I feel like that will also, if you do too much to make the vowels intelligible, it can sound kind of unnatural because so many people tend to like loosen up on diphthongs or whatever as they get up in there, and they just like tend to make the vowels more open. I think I would focus on like consonants for intelligibility, and then for vowels, honestly, I need to know more about some of this like resonance placement shit. Not resonance placement. Oh God, perish that thought. But delete that from my life. Um, what is this boy listening to? Um, doing vowel mods, like format tuning type stuff. I need to listen to a little bit of like actually read into format tuning because like most of my time talking about formats is spent on like vowels are not hit by your vocal cords. Like, and I'm so preoccupied with that that I have actual time to explore like valid science. A great person to watch for that is probably Singwise. Look at Singwise's stuff on the matter. She's great. She has a video on format tuning. Oh, please, please do. I will like I will give you all the premium benefits. I'll like give you free lessons if you do that shit. Um, so uh, yeah, look up that stuff, and I'm sure there's literature on it to talk about like vowel modifications to the shape of the vowel to make it sound like another vowel. But I honestly, I don't worry about it too much because I think like honestly, like there's only but so much intelligibility that you have because language isn't spoken in the fifth octave. I have to go to the bathroom so badly. Um, Ooh, okay, good. The gas bubble doesn't my stomach pop. Yeah, feel free to pull from that. Um, okay. How high can you do messo di voce, crescendo, decrescendo, nem1? I feel like it's not even that dramatic. Like you can't do that dramatic once you're in belt, like you can't really crescendo and decrescendo, but so much. Um, so let me give myself something like middle of the road. A5, no, C5. So, that's probably the most variation I can get on that. I could do it slower, but actually I didn't go like full loudness. I went pretty close, but I didn't go full because like I have these mental blocks that I can't get over. That if like I'm in public, I don't want to bother people. So I could get a little bit louder, but not much more. Wow, that's really a monkey noise. A clip that I want to really find is like this is like 106 in part doing the dozens, playing the dozens show like where people insult each other, where white people just watch black people break each other down, and I can't remember what it was, but somebody like in a preview is this woman was saying to like the other person that she was like dissing is like I beat your mama so hard she make Mariah noise. I just love she make Mariah noise. That until she make Mariah noise. That is a set phrase. Should be a meme. I need to find that clip. I like searched for that phrase one time. Let's see if it's still available on the internet. I'm gonna make Mariah noise. Somebody like tweeted about it. Oh, it's somewhere in Twitter. Hopefully it wasn't deleted, but it's somewhere in the Twitterverse. I need to find that shit again. Okay. Well, I'm going to sign off because I need to poop really bad, and I am a consummate professional. So, yeah. Till next time, please support on Patreon if you can. Please add your questions to Scinguistics. Why are there two of me? Um, and that's why there's two of me. And please disavow Val conspiracy every time you hear of it. Are you giving me a present? Whose child is this? Not mine. I would never raise a half-breed baby. Look at her, she's half-breed. Look at this shit, she's half-breed. Okay, some dog footage. Do it for Beezus. Support me on Patreon. Do it for Beezus. If you want to do it for Miles' shirtless torso, do it for Beezus. I'll have to feature her on here. Oh. Oh, no! Okay. I'm going to end these streams. How do I get over the mental block? Fine. One last question. Okay, yes, glissandos help. Glissandos help. Not looking at the note helps. Don't know what note you're doing. That also helps. Okay. Let me end this.